Hi to the TV friends.
All right.
Thank you so much for watching.
Alright, TV friends, Mark of TechPinas here, and again, I'm with Mr. Hugo Barra. Of course, you already know him. He is the Vice President of Xiaomi Global. And the last time I interviewed him, it was for the Xiaomi Mi 3, which was a very big success in the Philippines. And it's here now again, but this time is for the Redmi 1S. Alright, Hugo, so this is actually the entry-level smartphone that you have right now, and I saw the presentation. It's a really wonderful device. So for those who are interested, listen to Hugo. He's going to tell us everything there is to know about the phone.
Sure thing. So here it is. This is Redmi 1S. This is actually my personal phone. I have a blue back cover on it. Quad-core Snapdragon 400. Super optimized, 1.6 gigahertz. So it'll give you an Antutu score of close to 22,000, which is really, really high. It's got a 720p, 4.7-inch IPS display, so it's HD. It's a dual SIM device, 1 gig of RAM, 8 gigs of flash, and expandable up to 64 gigs using a micro SD over here. Also, dual SIM, like I said earlier, removable battery. So it's a great device. On the back, we have 8 megapixel camera right here, f2.2, 28mm wide angle, and then 1.6 in the front.
For selfies, right? Actually, you mentioned the Antutu benchmark score. It's a bit higher than some of the phones having the same processor, right? So how was Xiaomi able to do that?
So first of all, our Snapdragon 400 is clocked a little bit higher. It's clocked at 1.6 gigahertz. You know, you've seen 1.5, 1.2, so it's a bit higher, and just a tremendous amount of work that we're doing in terms of optimization. You know, so there are no Snapdragon 400 devices like that I know, which even go above 20,000. We're at close to 22,000. So it's a really, really high performance device. It's great.
All right, so I saw it actually, in terms of the Antutu benchmark score, it's very high. And that's well reflected in the actual experience on the phone, right? Earlier you mentioned about the gaming performance of the phone, Hugo, because actually when you have an entry-level smartphone, most users wouldn't expect so much gaming performance from that. But this one is actually very capable, right, Hugo?
That's right, and usually I like showing a game which is one of my favorites called Asphalt 8, which obviously your readers know very well about. Asphalt 8 is a very cleverly designed game in the sense that it always runs at really good frame rates, even though when the device is not as high performing. And what they do is they degrade the features, right, if necessary. So for example, if you're on a phone that's not as fast, or doesn't have a GPU that's as good, you won't get lens flare, or maybe you won't get asphalt reflections. Those are features that they require some more from the hardware. And with Redmi 1S, you actually get all of those features. You get all of the gameplay features that you need, which goes to show how high performing of a device it is, right? So we're really, really happy with it. This is the game right here.
Okay.
And I can start a race on my R8.
So this is actual gaming on the Redmi 1S.
This is actual gaming, and you'll see that the reflections on the asphalt are all there. When I turn against the sun, you're going to see some lens flare as well. Of course, I'm not that good of a driver necessarily. One second, what happened here?
But I guess we were able to see already how smooth it is, right?
Exactly. You see some lens flare?
I can tell you really like this game, Hugo.
You see the lens flare over there, right? That's again something that you wouldn't get. Okay, I need to go slower.
But I can tell you really like that game. Okay, so earlier in the presentation, you saw you showed us a list of the many smartphones that are out in the Philippines in that price category, right? So you have the many competing products from Cherry Mobile and MyPhone. Is that something that you really looked into in terms of trying to price that product in the context of the Philippines, for example? Did you really try to make it really competitive in terms of that price range, Yeah, so we did, but in this case it's actually a pretty simple idea. Our device here in the Philippines is priced at almost exactly the same price that it is in China and some of the other markets, for example, right? So 5599. So it's pretty much for all territories, right?
That's right. It's a very similar price across all of our countries.
So I guess it just goes to show that that's really your focus, to really come up with devices that are very affordable. So regardless of where you are, that's really the focus. All right. So, Hugo, will you be releasing accessories for this phone as well? Will you be releasing cases or the flip covers for this phone in the Philippines?
So we have a few accessories available right away on the same day as the first sale. Screen protector, clear and matte, so 2 different types. We also have a protective case. It's a soft gel protective case for your device. We'll be selling different color back covers as well if you want your device to look a bit different, just the back cover itself. And then later on, we'll bring a flip cover. We'll bring extra batteries, external battery charger. And then, of course, we're also already selling, starting on the 29th, which is tomorrow, Friday, the power bank. We're having both the 10,000 and the 5,000 milliamp hour power bank.
One of my friends actually messaged me about that.
Yeah.
This is really interesting. Right. So, Hugo, final question. What do you think? What kind of user do you think would be most attracted to this release?
So, Redmi 1S is kind of a device for all types of users. I think people who particularly like it are people who want a slightly smaller device. You know, 5-inch devices, 5.5-inch devices are seeming to be the fashion these days. But if you want a smaller, more compact device, this is probably the device for you. This is obviously also a great entry-level device, right? For someone who is going from a feature phone to a smartphone, this is a great option. I consider myself a power user. I'm using Redmi 1S as my main device. Right? So it really goes across the board.
That's wonderful. And it's going to be out in the Philippines on September 4, right?
Redmi 1S is available on September 4th, starting at noon on Lazada, Philippines, for 5,599.
That's very affordable. That's only 5,599. Wow.
That's right.
Wow, that's great. And you get, of course, you get all the benefits of the MIUI, which is very intuitive. Yeah, I love it. Very beautiful and intuitive at the same time. The powerhouse specifications for a very affordable device. Overall, Hugo, I love it.